journalist breaking this story, which is going to set the news agenda for the next 24 hours once again on Republic. And I'm get the copy here. I got the copy here, and Abhishek Kapoor will be joining us with the copy of the Extraordinary Gazette notification out here. This is going to be huge. Don't quiver, don't shake. Nikhil, you're reading it. Do you have it? You don't have it? You don't have it yet. Nikhil doesn't have it yet. What are you holding up, Nikhil? What is that?
Undemocratic, Arnab, undemocratic. I do not vote for the Aam Aadmi Party. I don't agree with a lot of their politics, but they are the party that has the mandate of the people of Delhi. When 2 crore people of a state, of a country, your own Indian citizens are voting for this party, the BJP tries to come up with devious plans.
I'm really sorry. You need to understand, Nikhil, that across the entire world, all the national capital regions have special provisions for federal and central governments. So I think it's very wrong of you to say that. You should first check out the rules everywhere. If you are saying today that we need to change the way the country has operated.
2 crore people.
No.
2
So
crore
let's
people.
make the Supreme Court redundant.
Who said the Supreme Court is to be redundant?
No voice.
You want Parliament to be redundant? You want the government to be redundant?
No, that's what you're saying.
What is this?
That's what the
10:30
government
on a
of India is
Friday
saying.
evening, you have an ordinance.
No, that's what the government of India is saying.
First of all, I've broken it right now. It's breaking on Republic. There's a breaking story exclusively broken on Republic, and we're going to go live with it for a while. Your emergency press conference moment. Apparently, the Aam Aadmi Party watching Republic has decided to a press conference. The Aam Aadmi Party watching Republic has decided to a press conference. All mayhem is going to break out right now, I think.
Powers back.
What powers back, Mr. Meka?
Arnab, I congratulate you for breaking this.
Thank you.
No,
You should congratulate us for breaking it, because this is the biggest political story of the year.
Madam, wait.
No, we do congratulate you for breaking it. But what about breaking what the Supreme Court has done? The government of India is trying to take back all those powers through a man who has no accountability, no responsibility. Who is the LG except a tool appointed by the central government to take on a duly elected government? You may agree with their policies, you may disagree with their policies. Fact remains, they have been elected by the people of Delhi. And these are the people who have 5 times rejected the BJP. But through the back door, the BJP wants to go on controlling Delhi.
What is controlling Delhi? Renu, 1 minute. Renu, 1 minute. Sandeep is on the debate. 1 minute. Sandeep is on the debate. Sandeep.
5 times this government, BJP has been rejected by the people of Delhi.
Oh, that could be, but here they have been rejected by the government
and there is accountability,
in Delhi
there is responsibility.
to manage the municipality of Delhi, Renu, but not behaving as that he is the shadow prime minister of Delhi just because he has also got an office inside Delhi. He considers his 65 crore bungalow, 65 crore renovated bungalow equal to 7 local and he speaks in the same way.
That's a different issue.
He is the,
you may take him to court,
that is the issue.
For that.
No,
that's a different
not
issue.
A question of
Here
jail.
we are talking about democracy. We are talking about the fact that the BJP government in the center is trying to undermine
the Lord
democracy.
and purveyor
It's trying to undermine
of India.
the unelected government. It's trying to undermine the Supreme Court.
There have been
whose
several
word is
chief
law in this
ministers
country.
of Delhi,
They are trying to
including
put all the powers
Mrs.
back
Sheila
into the hands of a man
Dixit, who has been there for 3 terms. She has never behaved that she is bigger than the Prime Minister. They have not tried to challenge the central government's powers. They have not tried to, in any way subvert
central government has the powers that it has.
No, they have.
Powers.
Because in terms of law and order, everything else, they haven't.
On what is the role of the LG and what it can and what it cannot do.
And there have been several instances just because the Supreme Court orders something, go back to the time of emergency and earlier.
It does not believe that the Supreme
Court this is becoming big now.
Which can give a diktat on what is happening.
Overruled by an elected parliament.
I think the Supreme Court has given the advice. The Supreme Court has taken its view. Their lordships have their right to have their view. But when you run a country, there is a government, there is a parliament,
Yes.
Renu, you may not like parliament, you may not like government, but even the Supreme Court cannot take over the political space. You appreciate that? And this is a political decision. This is a political decision.
Supreme Court is not taking over. When the government goes over,
This is a political decision.
becomes
Can declare it
disbalanced, the Supreme Court has to come
No, but we don't
and take
decide it on a
correctives.
TV
And
debate,
that's what it's
Renu.
doing here.
We don't decide it on a TV
This
debate.
government has gone too far in trying to be a
No, no, no.
controlling authority over anything and everything.
No.
It does not
My
believe in
worry is,
democracy.
Renu,
It does
tomorrow
not believe in the
take
rule of
away
law.
the
It does
focus
not
from
believe in
tomorrow's
what the
swearing
people of
in
Delhi have voted.
Karnataka to
No,
this
I'm
issue.
sorry.
That is what most people are worried about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what is happening.
So your tragedy is that we
That's
should.
what-
Oh, you got the. You want us to talk about DK. But understand, this is a huge development, ladies and gentlemen.
No,
And as I've got the pictures here. I've got the breaking news here. We'll have Abhishek soon. We'll have Abhishek soon with us. And I can just tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that this
Don't worry
ordinance,
about it.
this ordinance is going to define what happens in the political space for a long time. Karan is with us right now. Karan, we are going to talk about this for a long time. It will have
This
huge political
ordinance will
ramifications.
define what exactly
I'm
Mr.
sure
Modi is and what he
Kejriwal
wants
is
to
going to
do to
try and
this
hit
country.
back. But
This is
as per this
exactly what
ordinance,
ordinance will
as
define.
per this
And
ordinance,
this is what every
as
right-thinking
per this
person in
ordinance,
this country
there
will
is,
say.
as per this ordinance,
This part-
there is
this
a
ordinance
national
will
capital
define
territory
that
of Delhi
Mr. Modi
amendment
wants to be the
ordinance.
main
According to the
controlling
ordinance,
He does not respect
according to the
Supreme Court.
ordinance, there
He
will
does
be.
not respect an
No, I'm
elected
sorry, there will be a
government. He
chief minister and a
respects
chief
only his own
secretary
powers. And he wants
who will all be part of the.
No.
Perspective. Just to give you perspective,
This
if
is the only
Arvind
one who can
Kejriwal was the be-all and end-all of services, the liquor scam would have never been unveiled. The classroom scam where toilets were counted as classrooms, this
Don't get
report would have
into-
never seen
don't
the
get
light
into
of the
the side lane,
day.
please.
We have an
Focus on the
anarchist and we
main
cannot
road.
have an anarchist
Focus on
calling the
main
shots
story at hand.
of a state which is also the capital of the world's largest democracy. We are the presidency of G20. At that time, we cannot have an anarchist running the
right
shots.
and what is wrong.
Let's be responsible here.
No,
So it's only fair.
I
It's
think
only
you
fair.
It's a Washington.
I just want to tell you there is going to be, by the way, I don't think there's anything undemocratic about it. If I read clause 45E, subclause 2, 1 minute,
You wouldn't think so.
clause 45E and subclause 2, it says that there will be an authority which will be set up. And that authority will be called the National Capital Civil Service Authority.
First of all, it's not a law passed by parliament, it's an ordinance by the executive.
Which will be passed in due course by Parliament. What can
Yeah,
happen?
we will see.
The Supreme Court order has been countered. That is the breaking news. Central government counters Supreme Court order. Central government has decided to central government is countering the Supreme Court order through the appropriate legal procedure. So central government through a fresh ordinance is countering the Supreme Court order through a appropriate ordinance, which is probably going to be contentious but which is not illegal at all. And according to this ordinance, there will be a.
Illegal until it is pronounced.
How can you say it's illegal? Which clause is illegal about it? Nobody in the Supreme Court.
It is not illegal until it is pronounced by the Supreme Court. Hold on. Rain your
So
heart.
Congress can't declare it illegal. No, why are you fighting for the Aam Aadmi Party? Very
No,
suspicious.
nobody can declare.
Karan.
Let me tell you, Arnab,
And they want to say
you are suppressing my voice.
Nobody's suppressing your voice.
Nobody is suppressing your voice. Stop playing victim.
You are suppressing Parliament. You are suppressing the elected government of the country. There's something called elected government of the country.
The government, the executive.
You don't want the elected
This is
government of the country to have any powers.
Responsible move in the long term. Delhi is also the capital of our country.
Supreme Court.
We cannot let anarchists run Delhi. Delhi is the capital of our country. Besides, it's not a full-fledged state. Let's be honest about
What
it.
exactly is the mode and method of governance of Prime Minister Modi?
I think,
And
Renu,
what
you need to
exactly
understand that the
wants to do to
Supreme
this
Court of
No,
India
Chief Secretary.
cannot undo an ordinance duly passed by the central government. The Supreme Court of India cannot counter, Renu, an ordinance passed by the central government. There are strict lines between the different you know, between the legislature and judiciary and all that.
Separation of powers.
You need to understand the separation of powers is sacrosanct. You can't.
It is just one more
you can't
way
play
of
around with it.
antagonizing what exactly is happening in this country.
Well, I just tell you.
Supreme Court has.
Okay, Manoj Tiwari is responding to this. We got a reaction in the middle of the screen. We keep those windows on the middle of the screen. Manoj Tiwari is responding. BJP, Delhi. Can I play that?
कि केंद्र शासित प्रदेश का जो भी सर्विसेज है वो एलजी के साथ है। अब इस पे किसी को किसी प्रकार का कन्फ्यूज़न नहीं है। और मैं आपको ये भी याद दिलाना चाहता हूँ कि जब ये फैसला माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने दिया था तो उन्होंने स्पष्ट कहा था कि केंद्र चाहे तो इस पे कानून बना सकता है, और केंद्र सरकार ने अध्यादेश ला करके, ऑर्डिनेंस ला करके इसको क्लियर कर दिया। अब जो क्योस पैदा हो गया था, जो परेशानियां पिछले एक हफ्ते में पैदा हुई थी दिल्ली में, उस पर पटाक्षेप हो गया है, क्योंकि सभी को पता है ये नेशनल कैपिटल टेरिटरी है, एनसीटी दिल्ली कहा जाता है। और ऐसी स्थिति में ये पूरे देश की राजधानी है, यहाँ का एक एक निर्णय, यहाँ की एक एक स्थिति, यहाँ की एक एक परिस्थिति वो पूरे दुनिया को प्रभावित करती है। तो जिस प्रकार से अरविंद केजरीवाल को माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट के एक निर्णय के बाद रात में ताला खुलवा रहे हैं, अपने खिलाफ जो भ्रष्टाचार की जांच कर रहा है उसी को हटाने में लग गए, साक्ष्य नष्ट करने में लग गए, तो ये तो कानून किसी को नहीं इजाज़त देता है। ऐसे में हम इस अध्यादेश का, हम क्या, हमारी पूरी लोकसभा कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी और पूरी दिल्ली के लोग इसका स्वागत करते हैं, क्योंकि जो व्यवस्था है वो केंद्र शासित प्रदेश की तरह ही चलना चाहिए। और एक और बताऊं बात कि पूरे देश की एक चुनी हुई डेमोक्रेटिक सरकार का राष्ट्रीय राजधानी क्षेत्र, अगर वहाँ इस प्रकार का कन्फ्यूज़न होता है तो उसको दूर करना आवश्यक है, जो आज केंद्र सरकार ने कर दिया।
Okay, now that's Manoj Tiwari. Abhishek, just put this in perspective for us. Because I thought that the center is countering the Supreme Court order. However, it would appear to me that that may not be the right way of putting it, because it is the court itself, it is the Supreme Court itself which had told the government that if you wish to respond to what we are saying by setting up a law, then you are free to set up a law, because the Supreme Court is totally cognizant of the rights that remain vested with the central government. And therefore, in a way, Abhishek, the center is only following upon the advice given to it by the Supreme Court.
Absolutely, Arnab. You have got it absolutely bang on, and that is exactly the case. It's not any fight between the judiciary and the topmost executive of the country. This is a well thought decision coming out of the Supreme Court verdict, in which the Supreme Court had said, in the absence of a law, we have no option but to say that the Delhi government is the authority which should deal with the service matters of officers in its jurisdiction. If there is a law, then obviously you go by that law. So this ordinance essentially plugs that gap and sets up an authority in which the chairman is the chief minister of the Delhi administration, National Capital Territory government. And the committee, let me complete, ma'am, the committee is going to take decisions with the lieutenant governor only having some supervisory role. What is important is, Arnab, when it comes to national capital regions like that of Delhi, we have seen around the world the experiences, be it Canberra in the case of Australia, be it Ottawa in the case of Canada, be it Washington DC in the case of United States, be it Paris in the case of France, or be it Islamabad in the case of Pakistan. The central governments everywhere in these respective jurisdictions have an important role insofar as administration of the national capital region is concerned, and that's because the kind of structure that is there, the kind of institutions that are there. And remember, this ordinance, for example, clearly says that whenever a decision of the Delhi government impinges upon center-state relations, whenever a decision affects other state governments, whenever a decision affects central agencies, whenever a decision has consequences for the Supreme Court of India, for example, the center has to be involved via the lieutenant governor. So it's sort of a safety valve given the nature of the national capital region, and this is being drawn from experience experiences from around the world, the national capitals, some of which I mentioned, there might be more. So it's a very well thought decision coming out, in fact, drawing itself or drawing its authority from the Supreme Court verdict. So in a way, it's not against the Supreme Court verdict.
Okay, Nikhil is countering. Nikhil.
The center and the Supreme Court.
Nikhil, I want to tell you that there is no sidestepping of Arvind Kejriwal at all, because simple point, Arvind Kejriwal is the chairperson of the National Capital Civil Service Authority, which has been set up as per this ordinance. So he's been empowered actually, Abhishek. He's been empowered by the center.
Yeah. Absolutely. In fact, the committee which is held by the Chief Minister also has Chief Secretary, also has Principal Secretary Home, and these important people come together, decide, deliberate on these transfers, postings, appointments, and any other decision which impinges upon matters which are listed under List 2 and Section 41. So I think, Arnab, in that sense, it's a very well-reasoned ordinance coming out of the Law Ministry, and I am told that in the upcoming session of Parliament, obviously this ordinance would be replaced by an appropriate law with similar provisions.
Excellent.
There are 3 points I want to make.
Yeah.
Quickly, 3 points I want to make. I've been waiting patiently. One, whenever we're talking about capital cities in other countries, we forget that those are cities and not as big states as Delhi is. Delhi has a population of 2 crores. Washington, my friend mentioned, 7 lakhs. Islamabad, 20 lakhs. Ottawa, 10 lakhs. Canberra, 5 lakhs. So it's not fair to compare 2 crore Delhi.
Abhishek.
But it's not like that.
Proportionate to 140 crores.
It is very simply a case of the
2 million in Paris, it's because they have just about 30 million, 35 million people in the entire country. So if you are talking about 20 million in Delhi, it's because we have 1.4 billion people in the country. It's proportionate.
Let's not get into that. Two more important points. Arnab, can you please stop the interjections?
Capital has a special value. We can't let it run.
You have had
Two main points.
This is a national capital territory we are talking about.
Its manifestos during Delhi elections says that it wants full statehood for Delhi. And what was the need to bring an ordinance? Why could this not have been discussed in the Parliament?
National capital regions nowhere in the world
and not the Union Cabinet alone
are separate states. For God's sake, I gave you examples of Ottawa in the case of Canada, Canberra in the case of Australia, Paris in the case of France, Washington DC in the case of United States, and even Islamabad in Pakistan. These are national capital regions. They have separate provisions, special provisions to account for the fact that the central government, with all its institutions and the possibility of the state not having a broader national view and perspective, and most importantly, consequences for national security. That is the reason why these kind of provisions are there around the world.
You are jumping into conclusion that this is the
I am explaining to you the law.
Yeah, no, Abhishek, the point is also they are not seeing the whole ordinance.
Can't even understand who is it that's speaking.
No, I am telling you, you please look at the ordinance. It is not talking of appropriating the entire authority of Delhi government. They are setting up a body which is headed by the Chief Minister, the Chief Secretary, who are going to recommend provisions to the LG. So it is not a question of taking it over. And what Abhishek is saying, this 2 crores and 7 lakh doesn't make a difference. Then you have to really compare the population of different parts of the world. The issue is this is a national capital region, and this has to be treated on a different footing than any other state. And the problem arose,
the face of our country.
It should only come at the top of the central government. It should have no independent voice, no independent decision. It should do what the central government wants. So why have
just 1 minute. There was a Renu, 1 minute.
What is the meaning?
Renu, there was a 11th May judgment of the Supreme Court. There was an 11th May judgment of the Supreme Court, and Piyush is joining us today. Piyush, in that 11th May judgment, Supreme Court itself said, please have a law. It said the executive power of the National Capital Territory of Delhi, in the absence, most importantly, Abhishek, in the absence of a law by Parliament, shall extend to all subjects on which it has power to legislate. In the absence of a law. So the Supreme Court is literally guiding Abhishek, the government, Piyush, please have a law. The government says we are going to have a law. The Supreme Court is not going to oppose the law because the government can go and say, my lords, we are only doing what you guided us to do. So Piyush, you can cry on this, AAP can cry on this, but this has the backing of the Supreme Court.
Well, we are free to infer the judgment of the Honorable.
Law to fulfill
Okay,
that
the question. Okay, I presume the question was to me.
In the right frame. You are.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So all I was saying that we are open to infer and draw our own inferences about the order of the Honorable Constitutional Bench of the Supreme Court. Chor ki dadi mein tinka, it is as simple as that. You have a government which has been chosen with a huge majority. If
nobody is undermining the
like
government, but the government is of Delhi, and when it comes to Delhi, there are certain rules. Now you can't say there is no law, there will be no rules. The government is not a Mumbai government, it's not a Chennai government, it's not a Guwahati government, it's a Delhi government. Delhi is the capital of India. Yeah.
No disagreement on this, what I am trying to say that is why the constitutional bench has adjudicated that when it comes to law and order, when it comes to the matters of land, the Delhi government will not hold any rights over those issues. It is going to be the LG through, the aid and advice of the Home Minister of India is going to adjudicate on those matters. When it comes to the administrative matters, that's where the constitutional bench defines that the LG has to work in accordance to the aid and advice of the Council of the Ministers of the Government of the National Capital Territory region of Delhi. And if you don't want this government to function properly, that's when you bring an ordinance through the back door. Ishkaran.
Sir Piyush, the Supreme Court could not have adjudicated because there was a lack of law, and it said it in as many words. There was a void which has now been plugged in.
It is not about the lack of law.
For clarity on this.
The Supreme Court,
a loophole can never be the law, Piyush. Piyush, a loophole cannot be a law forever. You're saying let a loophole remain a law.
Not a loophole. It was functioning properly until the union government decided that it does not want the AAP government to function properly. That's when they have to follow every trick of the trade to stop this.
Sir, have you seen the Supreme Court order? I don't think you have.
I think it will go through the Supreme Court order by line.
I have gone line by line through the Supreme Court order. You haven't.
So we can very well determine the ethos.
Okay, then AAP can go to the Supreme Court again and let the Supreme Court decide whether there has been any transgression. There hasn't been.
Keep doing that all the time. Keep doing that all the time. Let the people of Delhi and their issues
you
go
want
on
a complete bench. You don't want any of your cases to be investigated.
You have a constitutional bench.
No classrooms, no 45 crore
bungalows. We have a constitutional bench deciding upon this matter. What more do you want?
But the constitutional bench said that in the absence of a law, the constitutional bench said that the executive power of the NCTD in the absence of a law by Parliament shall extend. In absence of a law by Parliament, are you saying we should reject Parliament?
Nobody is saying we should reject Parliament.
But the Supreme Court has said in the absence of a law by Parliament.
Have some heart. यदि हिम्मत है और काम किया है ना तो सामने आके लड़ो ना, ईमानदारी से लड़ो, चुनाव में लड़ो, चुनाव में हारते हो और ये नौटंकी करते हो, ये नहीं चलेगा यार। हद हो गई यार, शर्म आना चाहिए अमित शाह जी को, शर्म आना चाहिए नरेंद्र मोदी की केंद्र सरकार को। They should be ashamed of themselves. You cannot fight in an election. That's why you do all this.
I can't believe this.
Is Parliament
you don't need to believe this.
You don't get anything by abusing Modi. Your party gets less than nota all across the country. That is the relevance of your party.
The people of Delhi need to believe. The people of Delhi believe.
I mean, your party is a nobody. Nobody in the political landscape today. Don't try to because you won one state or two states.
You know in your heart, what are you talking here? You know in your heart it's wrong.
What are you talking?
You know in your heart it's wrong.
There was an absence of a law which has been plugged in. Your cases will be investigated. You can't ostracize the bureaucracy. You can't hide the files. You want an unfettered run in Delhi, you will not get that.
When it comes to law and order, it is the central government.
Arnab, the way they started ostracizing the bureaucracy ever since the judgment came. You talk about the bureaucracy. They've been in threatening the bureaucracy. Arvind Kejriwal in clear words said, "जिसने हमारे साथ सही."
But I'm saying that if the government goes and says now, Piyush, the government can go and say, Piyush, now, it can say that we are complying effectively with the point number 85 of the Supreme Court order. You've not seen the Supreme Court order. Supreme Court has said that the executive power of the National Capital Territory of Delhi, in the absence of a law by Parliament, will extend to subjects on which it has power to legislate. But when a law by Parliament comes, then the law by Parliament is absolute. My point is, the law by Parliament, by that definition, Sandeep Ghosh becomes supreme. The Supreme Court has acknowledged that Parliament is supreme. And if Parliament passes the ordinance, the Supreme Court cannot come in the way.
पर अर्नब नियत में खोट है, नियत में खोट है.
And if the law is unconstitutional, people can go back to the Supreme Court once more. If the law is unconstitutional, they can go back there. And people unfortunately are commenting, and I presume they'll comment tomorrow also without reading the ordinance. The ordinance does not take away the power of the Delhi government. They are saying you set up an authority who is going to recommend to the LG. And precisely as you are saying, they are proposing and thereafter let Parliament pass something and take it back. This is again, I have to come back at the end of the debate to quote Harish Salve. There are people in India who try to convert this democracy into a judicial democracy. They try to waylay the government by moving things in the court. This is what Harish Salve had said 8 years ago. This is what they will try to do when they do not have the mandate. They are going to try and waylay the government by going to court. This is precisely what they are trying to do at every stage. And this government is playing it with a straight bat, countering it. If you have to counter it, don't counter it on TV debates here. Go back. Or not with press conferences. Go back to the Supreme Court tomorrow.
And that's why
they have all the money. They're spending 65 crores on building a house, repairing a house. They can employ any lawyer in the country.
It is shameful, shameful, shameful.
Let Supreme Court say that on Monday or tomorrow you have a midnight hearing, let them say that.
Shameful for the BJP government. They should be ashamed. They should be ashamed. You know, governing through the ordinances. They should be ashamed.
You should be ashamed.
Ordinance.
In an unfettered manner.
The people are going to show back. You know, the people are going to show to the BJP again in 2025, and they are going to give 70 seats to the Aam Aadmi Party. What are you going to do then?
Going to be the real democracy.
We cannot let
what are you going to do then?
In the national capital.
What are you going to do then? If Aam Aadmi Party comes in 2025 again, and even more states, what are you going to do then?
It's going to 1 year away.
What are you going to do then?
Last time, how many
it is a national party now. It is a national party now. It is going to be more and more states. It is going to show these real colors of BJP to the people of this country.
Okay, how many seats did you win from Lok Sabha last election?
It only knows how to run through
2019. How many seats did you win?
Ordinances. It does not believe in democratic process. It does not believe in the electoral process.
Ordinance is not. There are several ordinances.
You basically what your argument is, Piyush, your argument is that there should never be a law by Parliament. So Abhishek, Piyush, Aam Aadmi Party argument is we don't like Parliament. How would we have?
Why go to the route of ordinance? Why go to the route of ordinance? Bring the law, Baba, debate it in the parliament, let it all come out in the open, let your true colors show.
Majinder Singh Sirsa is on the phone line of the BJP. Sirsa ji, can you hear me?
Yes, I can very well hear you.
AAP is saying this is unconstitutional, we'll protest and all that. What is your take?
Yeah. So the unconstitutional is when you call a chief secretary at your home and bash him. The unconstitutional is when a minister's call on... the secretary services and abuses him in his office. This is unconstitutional. We must always realize one thing, that this is not just a union territory, it's a capital also.
You cannot demand a report from the chief secretary.
Please, why are you shouting like this? This is the reason. This is the reason every citizen wants कि दिल्ली सरकार के हाथ में ऐसा कोई चीज नहीं होनी चाहिए जिसके कारण वो दिल्ली में इतना की गंदगी फैलाए।
On the right, let him respond.
We want them shown it to you. सिरसा जी 62 seats देंगे।
नहीं देखिए, आप यही काम करते हैं ना हर जगह पे, आप जितना सड़कों पे
अरे यही काम करते हैं साहब, आप तो काम ही नहीं करते हो। आप कुछ काम कर लेते ना तो ये ऑर्डिनेंस लाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती। चुनाव जीत जाते, चुनाव हार जाते हो एमसीडी में, चुनाव हार जाते हो दिल्ली में, और काम का आप हमको दिखाते हो।
देखिए, सड़क छाप की तरह आप क्यों डिबेट करते हैं?
अरे सड़क छाप की तरह डिबेट नहीं कर रहे हैं आप एक फासिस्ट रेजिम की तरह ऑर्डिनेंस ला रहे हो और आप सड़क छाप बोल रहे हो। What are you talking about?
आपको ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए, आप बड़े जिम्मेदार।
अरे आपको ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए सिरसा जी, आपको नहीं करना चाहिए ऐसा। आपको ईमानदारी से चुनाव लड़के आना चाहिए, आपको चुनाव लड़के आना चाहिए। चुनाव हार जाते हो तो सबूत नहीं करना चाहिए आपको।
हम चुनाव लड़के
हारोगे, आप चुनाव हार चुके हो।
आपको यही समझाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, ये देश की राजधानी है, हम चुनाव लड़कर आए हैं, देश के लोगों ने हमें
पूर्ण राज्य का वादा किया था कि नहीं?
दिल्ली की
आपने आपके दृष्टि पत्र में पूर्ण राज्य का वादा किया था कि नहीं?
लेकिन ये
आपके बताइए,
इससे तो अर्नब जी
फुल स्टेट
होती, मत क्यों घबराए हो?
हाँ तो नहीं होती साहब, नहीं होती। बात करने का समय नहीं, ऑर्डिनेंस लाइए आप। यू डू नॉट बिलीव इन डिबेट्स।
गवर्नमेंट के नॉमिनी के तौर पर बोल रहे हैं। You shouldn't behave like this. It doesn't suit you.
You know, I'm not a nominee of the government, boss. I'm a supporter of Aam Aadmi Party. I'm not their spokesperson.
So Arnab, one should always remember one thing, that यहाँ पे सारी फॉरेन एम्बेसीज हैं, डिग्निटरीज हैं, और बाहर से बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट लोग नेशनल स्टेट कैपिटल में आते हैं, जो बाहर के राष्ट्रपति हैं, प्रधानमंत्री हैं, और ऐसे में जिस तरह की सरकार यहाँ पे हरकतें करती हैं, सड़कों पे उतर आते हैं, कभी 26 जनवरी वाले दिन सड़क पर उतर कर बैठ जाते हैं, कभी कभी एसीबी की वर्दी फाड़ते हैं, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर को समझते नहीं है। आप देखिए दिल्ली की सरकार,
अरे आपके कमिश्नर को समझ में नहीं आता तो आप समझाओ ना।
तब भी ये कानून था, शीला जी के रहते भी किसी को दिक्कत नहीं हुई, उससे पहले रहे दिल्ली के अंदर वर्मा जी सीएम रहे, तब भी किसी को दिक्कत नहीं हुई, उससे पहले खुराना साहब रहे, किसी को दिक्कत नहीं हुई। अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ऐसी कौन सी करप्शन कर रहे हैं जिसके कारण इतनी दिक्कत हो रही है? चाहते हैं कुछ छुपानी नहीं पड़ी, शीला जी को छुपानी नहीं पड़ी, छुपाना चाहते हैं? बताइए आप जैसे ही आपके ऊपर आपकी करप्शन के केस सामने आए तो आपने फटाफट से
कन्विक्शन तो होता नहीं आपसे बाबा।
हमने नहीं कभी सुना कि कोई फाइलें चोरी करी। अपनी सरकार में कोई फाइलें चोरी करता है क्या? डॉक्यूमेंट चोरी करता है क्या करप्शन के?
Shameful.
तो बड़ी बुरी बात है।
You should be ashamed of this ordinance, Manjinder Singh ji. You should be ashamed.
आपने बड़ी
You are setting a wrong precedent.
आपने बिल्कुल सही appropriate words.
You are setting a wrong precedent. You are setting a wrong precedent.
I appreciate your words.
And a dangerous one. And dangerous one at that.
करता हूँ कि आपने सरकार के जो फाइल चुराने के इस मसले को बहुत शेमलेस बताया, मैं मानता हूँ।
अरे आपको शेमलेस बोल रहा हूँ मैं, आपकी पार्टी को शेमलेस बोल रहा हूँ।
One second.
मत दिखाइए टीवी चैनल पर।
One minute. Piyush जी, I'm telling you once again, सिरसा जी, this is all, ये तो कंट्रोवर्शियल है ही, हो रहा है, ठीक है। पॉइंट इज, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा है कि लॉ नहीं है। रेनू देखिए, सुप्रीम कोर्ट हैज सेड देयर इज नो लॉ। अभी लॉ अगर कोई ले आए, सरकार लॉ ले आए रेनू जी, तो आपको उसमें दिक्कत क्या है? आप एक लॉलेस सिचुएशन चाहते हैं क्या? आप चाहते हैं रेनू जी की लॉ ही नहीं बने?
ऑर्डिनेंस क्यों ला रहे हैं? व्हाट इज द अर्जेंसी? No, but what is the urgency? You can go to parliament and bring a law.
अच्छा, ये पूछ रहे हैं what is the urgency?
It is not become defunct as yet.
Very important.
According to Mr. Modi, the parliament is not defunct so far.
Urgency ये है कि जिस
तरीके से to bring an ordinance.
सौरभ भारद्वाज
कोई urgency नहीं है। आप बिना पावर के बिल्कुल out of control हो गए हैं। You want to totally control Delhi because you have never been elected by the people of Delhi.
कर रही है सरकार को। अभी भी कानून तो बनेगा तो लोकसभा में बनेगा ना।
तो ये तो कोई सरकार ने नहीं किया ना, यही कर रहे हैं बस।
राज्यसभा में भी आप अपना एतराज रजिस्टर करना, आपके मेंबर हैं वो बोले वहां पे जरूरत है आपकी, लेकिन आप ताले तोड़कर फाइलें चोरी करेंगे, रोकेंगे, अफसरों को गाली निकालेंगे,
आपके पास पार्लियामेंट है, पार्लियामेंट में लॉ इनैक्ट करिए।
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बहुत अच्छा
कौन रोकता है, क्योंकि आपके पास मेजॉरिटी है।
आना चाहिए और
Why
कानून
would
को
you
बनाया
bring
गया
an
है,
ordinance and overturn whatever
और
the
यहाँ
Supreme
बताएं
Court
मुझे
has
ऐसा
said?
कौन सा काम करना चाहते हैं जो शीला दीक्षित जी ने नहीं किया, खुराना जी ने किया, वर्मा
सुप्रीम कोर्ट की संवैधानिक पीठ के फैसले की साफ साफ अवमानना है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने यह फैसला दिया कि चुनी हुई सरकार के पास निर्णय लेने की ताकत होनी चाहिए। यही लोकतंत्र है, यही लोकतंत्र का सम्मान है। लेकिन आज जो अध्यादेश केंद्र सरकार लेकर आई है वो उस हार के डर से, अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की सरकार को पावर देने के डर से वो ये अध्यादेश लेकर आई है। उन्होंने कहा कि अरविंद केजरीवाल को दिल्ली की जनता ने चुन के भेजा हो, अरविंद केजरीवाल को दिल्ली की जनता ने 90% से ज्यादा सीटें दी हों, लेकिन अरविंद केजरीवाल दिल्ली नहीं चलाएंगे, केंद्र सरकार दिल्ली चलाएगी। तो ये साफ नजर आता है कि केंद्र सरकार अरविंद केजरीवाल से डरी हुई है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के फैसले से डरी हुई है और उसकी वजह से ये अध्यादेश लेकर आई है जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट के फैसले की अवमानना है।
ओके, दैट वाज द बाइट ऑफ आतिशी। मजिंदर सिंह सिरसा, एक सवाल तो ये भी है कि इन टर्म्स ऑफ परसेप्शन तो बनेगी ना कि आप यू आर ट्राइंग टू रन दिल्ली थ्रू द एलजी। अब आप कह रहे एलजी को तो किसी ने इलेक्ट नहीं किया है ना, आप इलेक्टेड चीफ मिनिस्टर को अंडरमाइन कर रहे हैं क्या? और जो ऑब्जर्वेशंस, आपकी राइट है, नहीं आपकी राइट है, मगर सुप्रीम कोर्ट के ऑब्जर्वेशन की अवमानना कर रहे हैं क्या? Are you not regarding the observations of the Supreme Court?
No, we are definitely abiding the observations also and the law also and the order passed by the Honorable Supreme Court also. One thing is very clear. परसेप्शन को आप कह रहे हैं, पहले आपको यह समझना पड़ेगा कि जब अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने दिल्ली से वोट मांगी तो इसी कंसेप्ट में ही मुख्यमंत्री का काम था कि मुख्यमंत्री अपना काम करते थे, लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर ट्रांसपोर्ट पोस्टिंग पुलिस देखते थे, इसमें कोई नई बात नहीं। इससे पहले शीला जी से पहले मदनलाल खुराना जी थे यहाँ पे, सैयद सिंह वर्मा जी थे यहाँ पे, कभी उनसे पहले कांग्रेस के लोग थे, तो कभी किसी ने एतराज नहीं उठाया। पहली बात
2021 में आप क्यों अमेंडमेंट लाए थे?
चला रहे हैं
जीएनटीसीडी एक्ट में आप क्यों अमेंडमेंट लाए थे? इतनी साफ थी 2021 में, 2020 में चुनाव जीते थे केजरीवाल।
ये यूनियन टेरिटरी
क्या बात करते हो यार?
राजधानी है और देश की
राजधानी, क्या बात करते हो यार?
वो स्टेट के पास
What are you talking about? Get your facts right.
देश की सरकार चलानी, उनको राजधानी के अंदर सरकार चलाने के लिए, सरकार का सिस्टम बनाने के लिए, ब्यूरोक्रेसी को लाइन पर लाने के लिए काम करना पड़ेगा। ये नहीं हो सकता कि मान लीजिए अमेरिका के राष्ट्रपति यहाँ पे आ रहे हैं और दिल्ली की सरकार का कंट्रोल दिल्ली के पास है ही नहीं है। ऐसा नहीं हो सकता। जिन लोगों ने इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को बनाया था, बहुत सोचकर बनाया था कि दिल्ली यूनियन टेरिटरी के साथ साथ देश की राजधानी है। इसलिए इंपॉर्टेंट है कि लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर के ऊपर जो अधिकार हैं, जिस तरह के, हाँ, जो डिसीजन है वो इन्होंने पॉपुलर डिसीजन इन्होंने लेने कौन मना कर रहा है? ये अपनी मर्जी से एसडीएम और उसके पैसे लेके क्यों ट्रांसफर पोस्टिंग करना चाहती है, तो बता दें। क्यों इन्होंने 3 बजे ताले तोड़े? क्योंकि इनका करप्शन का इश्यू है ना।
शेमफुल है। आप लोगों को जरा सी शर्म नहीं है?
अचानक
जरा सी शर्म नहीं है आप लोगों को?
फाइलें के दरवाजे तोड़ने शुरू कर दिए इन्होंने।
आप लोगों को मतलब what lengths are you guys prepared to go to? What lengths?
शर्म वाली बात तो आप
मनजिंदर सिंह जी, आप लोग किस सीमा तक जाओगे यार? किस सीमा तक जाने वाले हो आप लोग? किस सीमा तक?
आपको लगता है उप मुख्यमंत्री बना के?
मतलब you should be ashamed of your acts.
You are absolutely right.
You are making this country into, trying to make this country into what kind of republic? No, we are debating this issue on Republic channel. At least respect the word, in spirit as well.
For you, the way you have put up your word by saying कि अरविंद केजरीवाल को शर्म ही नहीं है, ये मैं आपको बधाई देता हूँ इस बात के लिए। अगर शर्म होती तो
कुछ भी बोल लो, क्या मतलब कहीं की ईंट कहीं का रोड़ा बानुमती ने कुंभा जोड़ा, अरे क्या कुछ भी बोल रहे हो यार?
अब आपको ये भी बोलना पड़ेगा, सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने लॉ बनाने
सब मुझे, अरे भाई साहब, हमने आपकी सब बातें मान ली, सुप्रीम कोर्ट की भी सब बातें मान ली, आप वो जो नहीं मानते हो कुछ भी।
नहीं, हम तो
क्या हो यार आप लोग, सच में यार? To what lengths are you guys prepared to go?
आपको लगता है कुछ गलत होता है, लेकिन
you are to what lengths? To what lengths? You are such a sore loser. You're such a bitter loser. You're such a bitter loser. You're going to lose May 2024 as well. If you keep on functioning
Yeah,
like
झूठ
this,
मत
you are
बोलो।
going to lose the Lok Sabha
I humbly
elections
request you,
bitterly.
झूठ मत बोलो
And then you can be a sole
और अच्छी
loser
बात है,
again.
अब देखना अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की 4 चोरियां सामने आएंगी ना, आपको भी अच्छा लगेगा। करप्ट आदमी को करप्ट बोला जाएगा। 45
अरे अभी 40% की सरकार आपकी चली गई, एक चोरी प्रूव कर नहीं पाए आप किसी की, एक करप्शन का केस प्रूव कर नहीं पाए, ईडी के एक्ट पीएमएलए एक्ट की आड़ ले लेके आप नेताओं को जेल में डालते हो, आप बात करते हो यार सरदार साहब।
देखिए, अगर ईडी ने
सरदार
आपने
साहब कुछ
गलत
तो
काम नहीं किया होता
पीएमएलए
तो
एक्ट
जेल में
हटा
क्यों
दो,
होते?
फिर देखो कितने दिन जेल में रहते हैं,
तो
सब पता
PMLA
पड़
क्यों
जाएगा।
हटाएं?
टेररिस्ट का कानून आप नेताओं पे लगाते हो, विपक्षी लोगों के ऊपर।
आप करप्शन करते हैं,
आप अरे क्या करप्शन करते हो? आप एक चीज प्रूव कर नहीं पाते हो।
अर्नब जी,
अरे एक
This is
मिला नहीं, कुछ नहीं,
Abhishek.
You see them? PMLA हटा दो। My God, आप कैसे कह सकते हैं?
It's a solid debate tonight on the breaking story.
Corruption issue ही नहीं है।
Abhishek in the middle. Oh, this is a great screen. Abhishek, will the centre have prepared its legal options, strategy, everything? What are you hearing? They must have thought this out.
I think a certain basic lack of constitutional issues, understanding of basic constitutional issues was shown in the debate on the part of one panelist. I'm not naming. The thing is, ordinance has the force of law. It's a constitutional provision. It's signed by the president, and ordinance is brought in when the need for a law emerges and the parliament is not in session. It has the force of law. And the moment next parliament session comes in, the ordinance would be replaced by a law, and that's what I am told by my sources, that a law is in fact ready, and the moment parliament convenes in the next session, the monsoon session, there would be a law to replace the ordinance. This is essentially plugging a gap to which even the Supreme Court itself has indicated. This is not a turf war going on between the Supreme Court and the central government. This is how most of the national capital regions around the world function. And so a law which was missing, an absence of which was felt in the case in which Supreme Court gave the verdict, that stands plugged now with this ordinance.
And the Supreme Court would be conscious of the legality here. Politics is different and would not take on and would not want to on a matter like this take on the President of India. It's to be watched.
Problem niyat ka hai, boss.
It's to be watched tomorrow. I think it is going to blow up. Well, Abhishek, great news break there by you. Great news break, which proves that all newsrooms sort of go to sleep by 10 o'clock. It's only Republic which is live, alive, kicking and breaking. Thank you very much, Abhishek. Great news point. We are repeating the debate after this, and I shall see you probably with this as the top debate tomorrow at 9. For tonight, good night and goodbye.
At Amity University's 2-week summer school, students of classes 10 to 12 get to explore future undergraduate programs as per their interest from over 30 disciplines. Students attend lectures by Amity University faculty, gain experience at over 400 labs and learning studios, and attend personality enhancement workshops. Register now at amity.edu/summer school.
Mr. Rahul Gandhi raised the issue of institutions. Why this?
Republic TV can ask any number of questions. I'm not going to be...
But Mr. Rahul Gandhi raised the issue of institutions. Sir, he raised the issue of institutions. When the ED goes after you, these protests don't happen.
Obviously, you don't understand English. What can I do?
I understand English, sir. Rahul, would you take a couple of questions on ED, Rahul? You can't push us around. मैं किसान की बात करना गरीबों की ठीक है मैं किसान की पूछता हूँ आप पूछने दीजिए मैं किसान की पूछता हूँ पूछने दीजिए मैं पूछता हूँ बेरोजगारी की बात पूछने दीजिए राहुल
Motorola, India's best 5G smartphone brand.
The report is completely in favor of the Adani Group. The report has found that there is no stock price manipulation by the Adani Group. It has also found that there is no violation of related party transactions.
At Amity University's 2-week summer school, students of classes 10 to 12 get to explore future undergraduate programs as per their interest from over 30 disciplines. Students attend lectures by Amity University faculty, gain experience at over 400 labs and learning studios, and attend personality enhancement workshops. Register now at amity.edu/summer school.